20 points lower, 10,881 is where we stand at this point. It's time for commodities, and Manisha Gupta, as always, with us here in the studios. Manisha, morning.
Morning, Prashant. Thank you so much for that. Everything in the commodity space actually is trading in the green, whether it's the crude oil price is up 1% or the metal prices, which actually are trading at a multi-month highs. We are now joined by Hong Mai Lee at MySteel Singapore. Hong Mai, hi. Thank you so much for taking time out for us today. What is your sense? Is it really about the China stimulus measures or the bargain buying, or it is the US-China trade talks which actually seem to be heading towards a resolve? What do you think really seems to be working in the metal prices today?
Hello, Manisha, for having me. I think what you mentioned just now definitely play a very important role. First of all, I think towards the end of last year, everyone was talking about the slowdown in China's economic growth. And then at the start of 2019, you can see that Chinese government has been issuing one statement after another, talking about all this maintaining the economic growth at a reasonable level. And together with that, there have been some positive signs, like the government saying that they will be cutting down on the taxation to facilitate the economic growth. So that definitely is one of the factors. I'm not going into details because there are so many, not so obvious but subtle stimulus packages to speak of.
Sure.
The other thing definitely is about the US-China thing. The trade friction is now, at least it's not getting worse.
That's right.
And then people are still waiting for definite news. I think for the time being, only the U.S. government commenting that it has been a very good meeting, whereas China had been saying that a certain state and China will be release, the results and everything will be sharing with the public what has been talked about during that negotiation. But it seems that China had been trying a bit to promote all this foreign investment into the U.S. and everything as well. So it seems that the sign at least is rather positive.
Yes, absolutely.
In the market.
Yes. But Hong Mai, with the kind of gains that we already have seen, markets would want to wait or watch for something more concrete to see further gains from here. As I say that, most of the metals are near 2019 highs already. I mean, to be fair, 2 to 3 week highs as we've seen, and most of the metals are closing this week nearly 1 to 3% on the higher side as well. Where do you see more strength coming in from, if that is going to be the case, and any metal where you see stronger fundamentals rather than the rest?
I thought about this question before actually we had this call. I'm thinking that in the overall environment, if China's economic slowdown is not really as much as the market fears, that would be already good news. And then if you're talking about the non-ferrous metals, definitely those liquid ones, will be reacting really rather strongly, like the copper, nickel in particular. Aluminum could be a question mark because aluminum actually market is not really as trimmed as nickel and copper, so you don't have the kind of supply crunch being there.
Yes.
So it's more about the oversupply. So that would be and the steel. I believe steel, even though if you're mentioning the prices, comparing the prices, it seems recovering a little bit. But then compared with the early 2018 or even 2017, the prices are still on the lower end. Right. So there will be still some room for recovery. Yes.
Point taken, Hong Mai. Thank you so much for joining us. So clearly it is going to be copper, nickel and steel that would be gainers from here on as well.
Okay, all right, Manisha. Thanks very much for that. Well, let's get back to the technicals of the market now. We have Ashwini Gujral with us with his 11:30 a.m. calls. Ashwini, over to you then. Recommendations, stock as well as index?
See, basically each time we get above 10,900, the market has great difficulty. Now, as you can see, the momentum is going out of the market. And, at higher levels, if there is no momentum in the market, it will become very difficult to hold on beyond a point. Plus, we have these other issues, governance issues, crude and macro and, bond yield, etc. So, my sense is that sooner or later the market will get into a correction. And the good thing right now is that we are close to the higher end. So like today's high as a stop, it won't be a bad move to try some short positions, maybe buy some puts, etc. because you can have quiet bottoms. You can't have quiet tops. And now, this thing has been extending for last 1.5, 2 months. This breakout of 10,950. So my sense is that, if this sort of news flow can't take us higher, it'll be difficult to go beyond 10,950. And the day, crude is up 4% or something,
Sure.
some other accident happens.
Ashwini, we just need to interrupt you for a minute because we have Mukesh Ambani speaking at Vibrant Gujarat. So I think we just have to cut across to
Gujarat is Reliance's Janma Bhoomi as well as its Karma Bhoomi. Gujarat has always been and will always remain our first choice. At Reliance, our motto is India first, and within India, Gujarat first. We have so far invested nearly 3 lakh crores in the state of Gujarat and created and catalyzed over 1 million livelihood opportunities in Gujarat. In comparison to the past decades, Reliance will double this investment and employment numbers over the next 10 years. Reliance's new business model will move away from concentrated investments in a few locations to much larger investments in a distributed manner all across Gujarat. As a proud Gujarati myself, I wish to tell my 6 crore fellow Gujaratis that your dream is my dream. Can we together make Gujarat the most prosperous place in the world? Yes, we can, and yes, we will. And how can we do this? By energizing the power of Gujaratis' globally acclaimed enterprise and entrepreneurship, by empowering and creating an enabling ecosystem that will make our Gujarati youth to be the best in the world, and by harnessing the revolutionary power of emerging digital technologies of the 4th industrial revolution. Gujarat will thus act as a model, not just for India, but for the entire world, as again my friend John Chambers said. Friends, let me now talk about Reliance's 5 initiatives that align with Gujarat's future developmental model. Each of these initiatives will contribute significantly to our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's inspiring vision of ease of living for every citizen. First, Jio is committed to create a fully digital Gujarat and make Gujarat the best digitally connected state in India. Today, Gujarat is the showcase for Jio's 4G wireless broadband network. This network already connects the entire state to the global information highway. This means connecting every home and office, every school and college, every hospital and doctor, every mandi and market. And Jio's network is fully 5G ready, which means Gujarat will continue to remain on the forefront of digital connectivity for years to come. And on the back of this world-class and most affordable digital connectivity, we can make our beloved Gujarat the #1 in nurturing startups in financial technology, agriculture technology, health technology, and other critical areas that enhance the well-being of every citizen. #1 in promoting new and renewable energy, new materials, and new mobility that create sustainable development. And also #1 in building smart villages. Yes, not only smart cities, but also digitally empowered smart villages. This will mean a truly participative society where the power is in the hands of every individual, every family, every community and every business. A second mega mission for India, which we will first roll out in Gujarat, is Jio and Reliance Retail will launch a unique new commerce platform to empower and enrich our 12 lakh small retailers and shopkeepers in Gujarat, which are part of over 3 crore community in India. Third, today our scientists and engineers have created highly promising innovations in our new oil-to-chemical strategy at Reliance's Jamnagar refinery, which is the largest in the world. As the world moves towards electrical vehicles, Reliance will use hydrocarbons less for fuel and more for producing high-value new materials with a wide range of uses in society. Our oil-to-chemical strategy will greatly boost the value of Indian exports and also create new employment opportunity. Fourth, Pandit Deen Dayal University, or PDPU, here in Gujarat has today over 5,000 students. In a short time, PDPU has emerged to be amongst the top universities in Gujarat. The Reliance Foundation has committed an investment of rupees 150 crores to make PDPU even stronger and an institution of international repute. Fifth, I am happy to mention that the Reliance Foundation, which is present in all districts of Gujarat and thousands of villages in other states in India, has demonstrated how India can move away from rural distress to rural progress. By combining the power of digital technology, Reliance Foundation will increase these success stories many more times in the coming decade. Respected Prime Minister, the entire world has come to recognize you as a man of action. I therefore conclude with a suggestion for your kind consideration. We have all gathered here in this magnificent Mahatma Mandir. I pay homage to Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, in the year of his 150th birth anniversary. Gandhiji led India's movement against political colonization. Today, we have to collectively launch a new movement against data colonization. In this new world, data is the new oil, and data is the new wealth. India's data must be controlled and owned by Indian people and not by corporates, especially global corporations. For India to succeed in this data-driven revolution, we will have to migrate the control and ownership of Indian data back to India. In other words, Indian wealth back to every Indian. Honorable Prime Minister, I am sure you will make this one of the principal goals of your Digital India mission. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so that is Mukesh Ambani talking at the Vibrant Gujarat Summit, and all of the key takeaways are in fact flashing on your screen, where Rel Jio expected to probably launch a new commerce entity in order to help retailers in Gujarat, and separately talking about data and the fact that it should probably be transferred back in terms of strength to the consumers. Talking about Jio, in fact, it's been a negative reaction post the Jio commentary from last evening on stocks such as Vodafone Idea as well as Bharti Airtel, both the stocks in fact at the low point of the day. So some amount of negative read-through which has really come in, where Jio did mention that there will be no commitment on price increase, and that's probably just about taking all of those stocks for a toss.